What's up, everybody? It's been a minute since I made one of these. And if you watched one of my videos before, I always mention I just do these videos for fun. I know I probably ain't never going to make any ends off of these, but it's all good. I just enjoy telling my stories from my experiences at Level 5 Supermax Prison, Arizona DOC, SME1, and also CCA, Central Arizona Detention Center, also in Florence, Arizona. It was a federal detention center housing various contracts, U.S. Marshals, ICE, Homeland Security, and a few others. But anyway, I'm going to tell you guys another story from CCA. This was a pretty good one. Like maybe I'd say about 5 or 6 years into my time there at CCA. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I was at Arizona DOC for about 5 or 6 years, and then I was at CCA for about 12 years. So total time, I worked in the jails and prisons about 16, 17 years, something like that, give or take. But anyway, I've had a couple people ask me, like, why the shades or whatever. Hey, man, it's just part of the image, like that character Shades on Luke Cage, It just helps me, get into the video and just feel more chill, while I'm telling my experiences. But anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I said, this is going to be another story from CCA. It was in 500 unit. It was like a mostly medium custody. There was a couple of high custody pods also, and one of the medium custody pods. There was an inmate. He was the clerk for the unit manager. Unit manager is like kind of like a non-uniform position. It's equal to a captain, and they basically run the unit. And then they have 2 case managers that are equal to a sergeant that work underneath them, and then all the COs that are assigned to the unit. So, anyways, the inmate clerk is an inmate, like a trustee, that he's like a gopher. He just runs around like fetching other inmates for the unit manager or case managers, like picking up paperwork, stuff like that from inmates. Just basically, running errands for the unit manager and the case managers, right? So it's a pretty important position as far as inmates go. It's probably like the most important or the highest position that an inmate can have. So a lot of these inmates that get these clerk positions, they get a big head and basically start feeling like they can kind of like boss the, like tell the COs what to do, or, maybe not tell the COs what to do, but basically like you can't, mess with me because I'm doing stuff for the unit manager, so you can't tell me nothing, kind of more like that. And a lot of the unit managers, if they have a clerk that is really good or that's been a clerk for a while, they kind of tend to, kind of take the clerk's side sometimes over the COs. So that's another reason why they get those big heads. But anyway, at the time in this unit, me and one of my good homies, hopefully, I don't think he'll mind me throwing his name out there, but his name was Herb Garcia. That was a cool motherfucker right there, man. I lost touch with him, but hopefully if he's, hears about this video or something, he'll reach out to me. But he was a cool dude and a tough motherfucker too. He was a cage fighter, and like I think he won state a couple times wrestling. He was a tough dude, and we used to roll together. I used to drive out once or twice a week whenever I could to. They had a spot over in Eloy called the Devil's Den, and I used to go out there and roll with those guys. And You know, because like I've said in some of my other videos, like way back when I was a youngster, I did some Muay Thai, kickboxing, some wrestling, like mainly just in junior high, and then some jiu-jitsu. You know, I attended a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in my hometown for about almost a year, probably about 8 months. But anyway, so he was one of the COs that I worked with in that unit, and we rode together. We pretty much, you know, just as much as we could, we did our jobs together, and you know, just had each other's backs. And you know, of course, we had the backs of the other COs too, but you know, especially each other's. But anyway, there was this inmate clerk. I can't remember the dude's name, and I probably wouldn't say his name anyways, you know, just out of respect. You know, I always try to be respectful when I tell these stories, you know, because some of these dudes might not want their names mentioned, you know, especially this dude, because the story didn't go well for him. But anyways, he was a gang member, which, you know, not saying that gang members shouldn't have jobs, but it was kind of interesting that they gave him like the highest job there, because he was a known member of the Border Brothers. And you know, I don't, you know, I'll just say that I got along with there was other members of that gang in our unit and other units, and I got along with them, you know, just like most of the other, you know, inmates too. But this dude in particular, he just basically felt like he could, you know, basically had the run of the unit because he was a clerk. So we ended up butting heads a couple times, because even when you're a clerk, you know, you're not allowed to leave your unit. Basically, you have the run of the unit when you're, you know, as you're working for the, you know, the unit team, but you cannot leave the unit for anything unless you get permission. Like they want you to run to another unit, or you know, medical or something like that for some paperwork. But anyways, I found out from watching this dude, he was just taking off whenever he wanted. And he was going to other units, and he was like basically conducting like gang business, like running messages and delivering stuff to other units, like, you know, personal stuff that was like between inmates like bartering and stuff like that. So I busted him a couple times, and my homie Herb busted him a couple times, and I'm not sure if any of the other COs busted him or not, but they might have, I don't know if they were scared of him or what, but I don't remember the other COs like really coming down on him too much. It was mainly just me and Herb. And he wasn't like a huge dude or anything. He was like maybe about, I'd say he was about my height. You know, he had a decent build on him. He worked out. They all worked out, you know. But I was back then I was pretty jacked. You know, I don't remember if I was still on the SORT team, the Special Operations Response Team, but I was jacked, man. I hit the weight pile like all the time, and I was pushing some serious weight back there, man. I was benching about 405 and squatting like about 500. And I used to be able to push up over 1,200 pounds on the, what's called the leg press. So I was a pretty strong dude, and I kept in pretty good shape back then, you know. So anyway, this dude was, you know, he was all tatted up, you know, and it was pretty, you know, obvious that he was a gang member or whatever. But like I said, you know, they gave him that job anyway, and he just kind of felt like he could pretty much do whatever the fuck he wanted. So it basically came down to me and my homie Herb, like just kind of showing him otherwise, you know. But anyway, so one day, I guess he got so mad, he went and complained to the unit manager, you know, that he said that we were picking on him, you know. So she called us in to have a talk with us, and she was cool about it. She just kind of was like, you know, she was kind of like, tell us in a funny way. She's like, are you guys picking on my clerk? You know, why are you guys being mean to him? You know, and I just basically told her like, hey, I don't care if he's leaving the unit to do something for you or the case managers, but he's basically just taking off whenever the fuck he wants, and just he's delivering like stuff, you know, like trading items, you know, for, you know, stuff that he has no business, you know, taking other units. And so, you know, she basically like just said, okay, well, next time, you know, he does something, you know, bring it to my attention or whatever, you know. But, you know, he basically got a slap on the hand. He didn't get in trouble or anything, right? So he kind of took this as, like, for whatever reason, he was telling all the other inmates that he got us in trouble and that we got our asses chewed, and you know, that he could basically do whatever the fuck he wanted, and we couldn't tell him shit now, you know. So it kind of escalated to the next step, which was I busted him another time, and I confiscated some stuff from him. And so this like really got him heated, because I guess it got him in trouble, you know, because now he was in debt. Now he owed somebody. I don't remember what the stuff was that I took from him, but so now he was in debt, you know, that because I took whatever he had with him. And so he kind of like we kind of had some words, you know. He kind of like talked some shit, and I kind of talked some shit too, you know. Told him, you know, basically like, I don't give a fuck if, you know, if you don't like it, you know, you keep thinking you're gonna do what the fuck you want, I'm gonna keep coming down on you, you know. So for whatever reason, he started like telling the other inmates that he punked me. You know, he went and told these two inmates that I don't think he knew that I got along really good with these two inmates. Like, I knew one of them from a different unit, and he was a skinhead. And like I said before, man, I got along with everybody. As long as you were respectful, I didn't care if you were, you know, Chicano, black, native, you know, Baisa, whatever, you know. I got along with everybody, showed them equal respect, as long as I got that respect in return, you know. So I was pretty, you know, about as cool as a CO could be with the inmate, with this skinhead. And I won't say his name, but his initials were GD. And then the other inmate was actually, he was a black Jamaican. He was a Jamaican. I don't know why I said black Jamaican. I don't know if there's any other colored Jamaicans, but anyway, he was cool as hell too. And I don't really remember his name, but it was funny because these two were pretty good friends. And I guess like on the, I could be wrong about this, but it was explained to me before that like in the federal system, they don't push the race card as much as like in the state. Man, they're real strict about that. Like all the races gotta, you know, basically be with their own. And I mean, it's the same in the feds. You gotta be with your own race, but you're actually allowed, from what I saw, to you could be friends with other races and stuff, but I don't think you can, like, you can't sit at their table and eat with them. You can't eat together and stuff like that, but you can be friends. You can hang out. You can like play basketball and stuff like that against each other and everything. But it might be a little bit different once you get to the federal prison, like BOP, Bureau of Prisons. But at least in the detention centers, you know, it was a little bit more, you know, relaxed, at least as far as like the races, you know, like the politics about it and everything. But anyway, I don't think he knew that I was that cool with these two inmates, right? And they were in the same pod as him. So he had gone and told like a bunch of other inmates that he had punked me. That, you know, I guess basically like he told me like something about, that's why I got you and Garcia in trouble. And, you know, you can't tell me nothing anymore. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And if you don't like it, you know what we can do? We can go to the laundry room and we can, you can take off that badge and we can, you know, throw down or something like that, right? And so anyway, and at CCA, we didn't really wear a badge. We just wore like an ID. But, you know, they considered that our badge, I guess, you know. But anyway, so these two inmates, they weren't supposed to tell me anything. You know, inmates aren't supposed to tell COs like what other inmates say, but they came and like, they came out to the hallway one day. I was out there, you know, just doing my job or whatever. And they come up to me and they're like, Diaz. They're like, yo, man, hey, we got to ask you something. And I was like, yeah, what's up? They were like, man, we know this ain't true because we know your ass, you're crazy. And we know, we know you get down, and that's why you have so much respect from all the races, you know, convicts, you know, a lot of the OGs, you know, like I had a lot of rapport, like mutual respect with them. So anyway, they're like, man, homeboy is going around saying that he punked you, you know, and I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, homeboy's going around saying that he punked you. And they told me like pretty much what I just said, you know, that he said all this stuff, right? And I'm like, all right. And I'm like, thanks for telling me. And they're like, hey, but you can't say nothing to him, man, because he'll know we told you, you know? And I was like, yeah, don't worry, man, I won't say nothing, you know? But inside my head, of course, I was thinking, I can't wait to see this motherfucker. So I think it was that very same day, I was like just kind of playing it cool. I was like a shark or something, man, just like pretending like I didn't see my prey or whatever. And I watched him from the corner of my eye. I watched him walk into the laundry room for something. I don't know what he was doing in there. Maybe he was going to hide something or get something he had stashed. But I knew there was nobody in there. The laundry clerk wasn't in there or anything. And this was before they put cameras in the laundry rooms, because they didn't used to have cameras in the laundry rooms. And because a lot of fights and stuff would happen in the laundry room, they ended up installing them. So this was before they had cameras. So I waited for him to walk in there, and then I walked in behind him and I closed the door. And when he turned around and saw me close the door behind me, his fucking eyeballs like about popped out of his head. And like, you know, I ain't trying to act like I'm the biggest, baddest, you know, motherfucker around or anything like that. I mean, I'm getting old now anyway, but you know, I can still handle business if I absolutely have to, but, you know, this was, you know, a long time ago. And anyway, homeboy got scared. He had fear in his eyes. And he was like, oh, hey, Diaz, what's up, man? And I was like, yeah, why don't you tell me what's up, dude? And he was like, what do you mean? I said, man, you know what the fuck I mean. I fucking heard that you're going around telling other inmates that you fucking punked me. And he was like, what? Who said that? I said, don't matter who fucking said it, dude. I said, did you fucking say that? You been saying that? And he was like, no, Mr. Diaz, I didn't say that, you know? He's like, I promise you I didn't fucking say that. I said, you know what, motherfucker? I said, because, you know, I told him I worked like 5 or 6 years at SMU1, DOC, Arizona DOC, with level 5 fucking killers, like serious motherfuckers. And I didn't let them punk me. You think I'm gonna let a motherfucker like you punk me? And he was like, no, Mr. Diaz, I promise I didn't say that shit. And I was like, you fucking lying ass pussy. I said, I know you said that shit. So I fucking pushed his ass, and his fucking pussy ass fell down. And he's just like, he's like, hey, you can't touch me. He's like, that's assault. He's like, I'm gonna file charges against you. He's like, I want to talk to a sergeant, you know? And I was like, man, get your pussy ass up, dude. And he's like, man, he's like, I'm gonna get you fired, man. He's like, you can't do that. He's like, you can't put your hands on me, man. You're a cop, man. You're supposed to go by rules. And I was like, man, shut the fuck up, dude. I said, there ain't no cameras in here. There ain't no witnesses. It never fucking happened, dude. And then I told him, you know what, man? I told him, as far as I'm concerned, man, you know, this never happened. And, you know, I ain't got shit else to say to you unless I hear you're talking more shit, you know, or you're saying that you're still saying that you punked me. If you do, I'm gonna come to your fucking cell, dude, and I'm gonna lock the door behind us, and it ain't gonna be just a push next time. And he was just like, okay, sir. He's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Diaz. He's like, I won't say anything else, I promise. I was like, yeah, you better not, motherfucker. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So anyway, you know, I walked out of there and just, you know, played it cool like it never happened or whatever. And I think it was maybe like after chow that later that day, those two inmates came up to me, the skinhead and the Jamaican dude, and they're like, "Diaz, man, you said you weren't going to tell them anything," but they were kind of laughing. They weren't mad. And I was like, "Hey, man, you know me. You know I couldn't keep my mouth shut after what you guys told me." And they were like, "Hey, but we had to roll his ass out, though." I was like, "What?" They said, "Yeah, he came in here all mad talking about, you guys fucking told him what I said." And they told him, "Hey, you shouldn't have been running your fucking mouth. You knew you were lying. We knew you didn't punk Diaz. And that's what you get. So you want to start some shit, you can get your ass beat, or you can roll up your shit and get the fuck out of the unit." So homeboy, you know, instead of, you know, standing up and fighting him, I mean, he would have got his ass whooped, but, you know, at least he would have kept his respect, you know. So he rolled up his stuff and he fucking rolled out of the unit like a little bitch. So I don't know what happened to the homeboy after that. I never saw him again, but yeah, it was just one of the interesting things that happened while I was there. But I got a lot more stories, man. I got some crazier ones, you know, just stuff that I experienced, or stuff that I saw happen to other COs and lieutenants. Man, I seen a lieutenant get the shit beat out of him like twice. The same lieutenant, man. I was like, "Damn, homeboy, you need to find a different job, or you need to learn how to bob and weave or something, homeboy." You know, I mean, not everybody's got it in them, I guess. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy the story. And, you know, like I said, don't forget to hit like, subscribe. And for now, that's it. Your homie, Big Cisco. Peace.